One of the most confusing takes that I've heard recently is that music in 2024 is bad. And I think the reason that this confused me the most is because this is one of my favorite years for music in recent memory. Like, I don't think I've had a year when I have found this many songs and artists and things like that that have defined my moment, have defined me as a person, that have given me catharsis, that I have genuinely liked, than this year. Like, I can't speak straight just thinking about it. Music as a whole in 2024 is anything but bad. There are elements of music that are bad, and certainly finding music can be a little bit different than it used to be. And like, sure, if you go and you turn on the radio and you listen to a radio station, or if you, how else do people find music like normally nowadays? I don't honestly know. Like, if you're just turning on a radio station or turning on like whatever music TV channel is for pop music or something like that, yeah, I will agree that you're kind of getting a mixed bag of things that are good, things that are mediocre, and things that are kind of meh. Things that are only popular because like of a trend or because a Nepo baby is behind them, not because they're actually good songs. But I think that most people, regardless of what type of music you like, if you do just a little bit of digging and you know the places to look and you know how to find music in 2024, you will find that you are finding some of the best music you've ever found in your life. It definitely feels like music is in this awkward growing stage where the traditional music industry does not actually know how to handle social media, and some people have managed to rise to the top in social media of their own, but there are a lot of bands and musicians that are struggling to find their audience, and there are a lot of bands and musicians who are medium-sized and who have a good audience and who are establishing themselves, but who are not necessarily getting on the radio or things like that. And in general, if you are not going out and specifically looking for the type of music you like, the music that you are being fed is probably mediocre. The events of 2020 made a lot of companies develop prosumer equipment, which means a lot more people than ever can make high-quality recordings in their homes. There are tons of small musicians making incredible music at their house. But let's discuss how to find music. So obviously one of the easiest ways is just going to be from people that you already follow. I found a good number of artists either because somebody that I liked featured them as an opener, or they posted them on their story, or like they posted their end of the year recap from Spotify or YouTube Music, and I was like, oh hey, I've never heard that song before, let me go listen to it. But also I really recommend looking in interviews and seeing the bands that they say inspired them, because chances are there are going to be similarities between that music and the music that they make that you already like. And from there, like I just said, one of the biggest things that excites me about music right now is the fan community and the fan spaces and the fan discussion and commentary and stuff like that that happens around music. But those fan spaces are valuable for people looking for music for a couple of reasons. A, because there are a group of people that already like at least one artist that you like and who are probably talking about recommending other artists that make similar types of music, especially smaller artists. For example, I found out about a number of tiny artists through Taylor Swift communities. But also often in those fan spaces, you will find other musicians who may be inspired by this musician that you already like, and oftentimes is a smaller musician who would benefit a lot from your support. But I've had especially good luck in Discord communities for like Taylor Swift and other artists that I really like through looking through everybody's Spotify Wrapped and everything like that. I have found a number of tiny musicians who will make really incredible music that I really vibe with, and who also respond to my messages and stuff like that when I send them a message. And that's very cool. If you're looking for that parasocial connection, it can really benefit you to find these people who are already active in fan communities for other artists, and thus who are probably likely to be active in the fan community when one grows up around them. At the end of this video, I'm going to discuss some of the benefits of supporting small artists, but one of them is the fact that that artist may notice you. They may notice your compliments, your reviews, your TikTok videos that you make about the meanings of their songs, things of that nature, and that's really exciting. So YouTubers and other content creators. So this is something of a self-promotion, but if you know other people who do this as well, I do a monthly, like, these are the songs that I found that I really liked video. I just started this last month, so my June video is already out and my July video will be out soon. But I found a ton of great musicians through YouTubers that I love, and there are a lot of YouTubers that explicitly go out to find music and who aren't just relying on AI-generated playlists like a lot of people are doing nowadays. Deliberately search for the outliers. I've had some of the best success with this. There are a lot of genres where the artists who are pushed are conventionally attractive, or are white, or are mostly male, or are mostly female, and a lot of times that results in the artists who are not like that don't get as much industry push and may not be as easy to find unless you go looking for them. But in general, these marginalized, these outliers make a lot of music, but it doesn't necessarily get the same push. But there's a ton of it out there, and some of it is the best stuff you'll ever hear. But if you go specifically looking for black country stars, or disabled pop stars, or or fat women death metal singers, you will find a ton of those people exist. All of those people. There are many of them. And that is often where you will find the greatest hidden nuggets of talent. And especially when you are somebody who is marginalized. Like myself, I'm disabled, I'm neurodivergent, and I'm gay, so I really try to go out and find pop musicians who have those traits, and I find music that is more specifically relatable to me than any music that I've ever heard before. And because of that, it has like a level of emotional connection and catharsis that a lot of songs that I've heard before just have never been able to achieve. It's not generic, it feels deeply personalized to me. Like a lot of times these songs feel like I could have written them myself because they so aptly describe my experience, and that's been very healing for me in a lot of ways too. Use music streaming services smartly. So I think it's very important to like songs that you like, to create playlists of songs that you like and things of that nature, because that tells that computer system the type of things that you vibe with. And when you start to introduce a lot more independent and smaller and fringe musicians to the things that you like, Spotify or whatever are more likely to send you those things. And because I've been using my Spotify, I think I've had the same account since 2011, maybe 2012, but because I've had my Spotify account for so long, it is really good at telling me what kind of things I might like at this point in time. Like my day lists and stuff like that are usually really great. And I know a lot of my friends, like initially they're like, oh well, you know, like my day list wasn't that great, so I don't look at it that often and everything like that. But like when you are actually diligent about, I like this song, I'm going to put it on a couple of playlists. I like this song, so I'm going to thumbs up it, or I'm going to click the heart, or I'm going to whatever. Tell the computer system that these are the songs that you like, rather than just like letting it assume based on how many things you listen to, because sometimes you may be listening to things when you're asleep that you're not necessarily hearing. When you give these algorithms the correct input, they can be very useful for you. And especially like because I watch almost any independent musician's video all the way through. I may not necessarily like, comment, and subscribe on it on TikTok, but I watch them all the way through. And that watch time conveys to the computer system that runs the algorithm of TikTok that I really like that and I want more stuff like that. So a lot of times on TikTok, I'm getting videos that are recommended to me that are brand new songs that have 0 views and 0 comments and likes and anything like that, and I'm the first person to see the video. And I love that feeling. Like, I love being the first one to find songs. I'm not like a total hipster about music because I really love popular music, like really popular music too. I'm just very into novel music, especially things that not as many people might have heard. 6, find local venues and see who is performing. Support your hometown heroes, especially. Like, go to the venue, ask who the local bands are, see who's got posters up, see who comes to town a lot, see who the local people are getting excited about at that venue, see who all the openers are for those various bands. Because the good thing about that is that you know that that band at least one time has come to your area. And I think for a lot of people, being able to physically go see a band is a valuable thing. And it's great because if you're going to these local venues, you can go to venues that are less expensive, so you don't necessarily need to spend like $1,500 for a ticket to go see a band that you really like. I think especially being able to see a small band that has a deep personal connection to you in an intimate venue, it's one of the greatest ways for me to experience music, at least. And I know that a lot of people are starting to miss that feeling with Chapel, where that she used to have these small intimate gatherings. I know you can't have that feeling with Chapel Roan anymore, but I promise you there are other small artists out there that are going to venues near you and that are putting on an incredible experience. It's also so much easier for a lot of these groups to get practice and experience and stuff in, because they can like go on lives and stuff like that to play like virtual gigs, to do streaming or, you know, TikTok lives or what have you. Like I was saying at the beginning of this video, the technology, the equipment, a lot of it is more available, more accessible to bands nowadays. So you have a lot more quality, a lot more talent, even at the local level. But it's just, even if a band isn't necessarily like Chapel Roan good nowadays, that doesn't mean it's not worth going to see them live. Like, one of the best parts of supporting a small artist is seeing them grow and develop and things like that. Like, I haven't been a huge Swiftie the entire time Taylor has been famous. I definitely have noticed her at various times though, and there have been songs of hers that I liked. And it's very cool to me now as like a pretty significant Swiftie to like remember that time that I got to see her grow up and develop and like what she came from to where she is now. It's like so exciting to see that. Find TikTok hashtags for the genre you like. Singer-songwriter is one of my favorites. Putting indie before a genre you like indie singer-songwriter or indie pop or something of that nature. I always like supporting hometown heroes, so I search for like Baltimore music or Baltimore small bands or things of that nature. And once you learn the kind of hashtags are common on the type of music that you like, it makes it significantly easier to find music on platforms like TikTok, which a lot of creators are posting a lot of stuff to TikTok, and it's one of the best places to find new music in my personal opinion right now. It is kind of sucky in that a lot of bands management expects the band themselves to do promo and to go viral on their own and things like that. Unfortunately, the labels are expecting the bands to do a lot of their own social media push, which can be very hard. But that does mean that a lot of artists are out there and are sharing their music, especially in early stages. Ask your friends. Like, chances are you have a friend that really likes music, that has similar tastes to you, and that is constantly finding new and interesting and different music. And if you don't have a friend like that, it's never been easier to find one. Like I said, one of my favorite parts about liking music is liking the different artists and being a part of their fan community. Yes, not every Swiftie is my best friend, but within the Swiftie community, I have met some people that are now some of my best friends. It has never been easier to find people that are into the same things that you're into. Get on the social media of your choice, say something about an artist that you like, a song that you like, something that has really influenced you music-wise, and put some hashtags behind it. Within a couple days of doing this, you will start finding your own kind. And I really find that Discord is a particularly good platform for sharing music on and for seeing what other people like. Number 9, gig openers, especially at music festivals. So first off, thanks to my friend Paresh for this one. He has gone to a couple of music festivals this summer, and he has found a couple of bands that he really likes. Even if you're not going to the music festivals, if you know that there is a music festival that is a genre you like, look through the openers. Watch videos or streams or whatever of the concert and see if you can find footage of them performing. I do tend to find that it's easier for me to see if I vibe with a band if I see them performing live, but that just kind of is a personal preference thing. And finally, number 10, karaoke. This is actually how my friend Paresh found out about Chapel Roan, Pink Pony Club at karaoke. And I've heard a number of songs that I have liked before at karaoke. I definitely think that this works, especially at a club where you get like a lot of people who go there all the time, because I find if it's a karaoke bar that doesn't have like a lot of regulars, you'll just have like newbies come in and they'll all do like the same six Queen and Cher songs or what have you. But if you go to a karaoke bar that has a lot of regulars, inevitably you have a couple of people that either sing deep cuts from really popular artists or they sing songs from less popular artists, and I agree with Paresh. It is a really great way to find new artists. So I wanted to include a section on why to support a small band, because I've had a couple of people genuinely not know. People who have largely been Swifties their whole life, have supported Taylor significantly, and have not really got into the fan community for smaller artists. And I notice especially younger Swifties can get frustrated because there's not the same level of like lyrics and videos and like content about smaller artists. But that's one of the best reasons to support smaller artists. If they don't have a fan community yet, or if they have a small fan community, you can start becoming that fan community. You can shape what that fan community looks like. You can start making the puns and the memes and the stuff like that. You can be the one making the videos. And there are definitely people who become popular on the internet via fan creations, and I think that's a really cool way to get popular on the internet, actually. Like, I think fandom, especially because it disproportionately attracts like really young women and queer people and things like that, it's not really appreciated for how valuable it is, for the sense of community that it brings. Like, I have made some of the deepest and most important connections in my life in music fan communities, and I'm not ashamed to say that. Honestly, one of my favorite parts about supporting a small artist is just the fact that I can make a big difference for them. Calling in and requesting their songs, recommending their songs to other people, talking about their songs on the internet, things like that make a genuine difference. Like, I could be the factor that causes a band to get a little bit bigger, maybe a bit bigger if one of my videos goes really viral. And I love that. I love the idea of being part of something bigger than myself and have it being constructive. Like, so often the things that we're a part of are destructive, you know? And some artists really are looking to have a connection with their fans, whether it be like a parasocial connection or whether it be like the type of events that Brandi Carlile and her family and associated acts do. A lot of small and mid-sized musical artists will do like tour trips and things like that where they take fans with them. They'll do cruises. They'll do things where you get to have more like one-on-one or like small group-on-one experience. And I know a lot of my friends that have had like really rewarding experiences at that. Like, I don't remember what Brandi Carlile's is called, but my friend Brendan is going, and I think he's going to have an amazing time because last year it looked like such a blast. And finally, it is just just so cool to see an artist grow and mature and develop and change over the years. Like, I've supported Jimmy Eat World since very early on because they were kind of like the counterculture band when I was getting into like counterculture music. I know they're not like really counterculture, but whatever. I don't feel like thinking about words right now. I'm a huge fan of London Grammar, and I've been a huge fan of London Grammar, and I just want to see her do great things. I've been a fan of Chapel Roan for a while. There are just so many different ways to get involved directly with these creators nowadays, and there are so many ways to have an impact on their career. There are so many ways that you can promote their music and like actually make a difference, and that's very exciting to me. And I think that that's kind of the future of the music scene. Like, I see what BTS's fans do for BTS, and I know that you don't need to have a fandom the size of BTS to like start making incremental differences in life. I don't know. I just get very excited over anything that is positive, and I do think that fandom as a whole does not get enough support, but especially when you factor in some of the things that Swifties have done for Kamala Harris recently, all of the money that was raised for those poor families that were impacted by the Southport incident. I'm sorry, I can't even talk about it. It's very sad to me. I don't want to take this video that way. Your support means a lot to me. I am a small creator as well, so if you really like helping out small creators too, hey, start here. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions really do help me out a ton. I'm still under 2,000 at time of recording, and have a lovely day.